Benedictines, the truth, is always talking about how this is a hell realm. And it's true. It is. And then other people interpreted hell as being like a school and shit. And you do learn some stuff. But the problem is, the type of stuff that you learn, it seems not to allow you to advance to the next level. Because if you did advance to the next level, you learned that this was a hell realm and how it operated, and then you was able to advance to the next level, you will keep transcending to the next level to the point you became transcendent master. And then you will come back and destroy this place if you decided that it is not viable for any reason. Because when you look at it at the end of the day, a lot of entities came together and collaborated and found this place and rearranged it and made it, so they can use it to leech off of beings who come here. So, in one way, if this is like strictly just a simulation, then it would be viable. But in another sense, if you a transcendent master, you look at this place like this is a real life living place that has an artificial construct sitting over the top of it. And the leader is Satan. So everything is skewed in this reality since then. Now, if it wasn't like a real living being, I'm talking about Earth. It wasn't a real living female, and the son is the father or a real male, because you gotta insert your seed into the female for her to help things multiply. If the sun don't shine on the earth, then the earth won't grow stuff. So that's how that's a female and male interaction right there. A lot of the stuff that they be talking about on the internet that you would call like red pill and whatever, all of that stuff is a loose grab. Because if it wasn't, then they wouldn't shove it down your throat so much and put it in the algorithm so much. Because when you go out here in reality and interact with people, you're not dealing with these type of situations that they talk about on the internet. Yeah, you're going to run into a bopping ass, thought ass biatch who act like some of the stuff they talk about, but that's not the majority at all. Like, you don't run into that as a majority, but if you start watching these videos and you allow them to consume you and take over, then you'll start to think like that and believe that, and then you'll behave like that. Now, your question you got to ask is, what is the point of this psyop or this loose grab? Why is they trying to make men and women have adversity towards each other? What is it that's happening? Well, all you got to do is look at the economy. Nope, this ain't politics. This is common sense. Look at the economy. So, once they make the economy fucked up, they always do something nice. All right? So, right now, across the whole planet, the economy is shit. They made it that way. So, what do they know? What does the Matrix know? It knows that humans, whether NPC, soul, or organic portal, they are miserable when the economy doing bad. Even though they like this place and it's they heaven, some of these motherfuckers. Some, just like I would say 1 to 2%, that get to be at the middle, close to the top of the pyramid. They love it when it do bad. But they don't count. We're not talking about them. They not the majority. But the rest of us at the closer to the bottom of the pyramid and shit. Like, we be feeling it, man. It be irritating us. So, what they do is they change the atmosphere of the music. The atmosphere of the music done changed. Now you can talk about real stuff. Now you can talk about authentic things. Now you can have different types of beats that got a different frequency to them. But when the economy was doing well, they wanted that low vibrating shit, that stunting shit, that fake shit, that drill shit. Now people starting to levitate away from it. Well, that's the same thing when it comes to like the content, when they want the women and the men having adversity towards each other. That means that they depopulated and killed off a lot of people. And the population of the slaves have decreased so much, right? That they have to do this adversity thing to make men and women go through this trial or period of disliking each other. Why? Because what's going to happen is they're going to cut all that shit out, right? It's slowly going to start to disappear. All they little talking heads on the internet that be promoting all that shit is going to slow down. And then while it's slowing down, all this good music is coming out that wasn't allowed to come out before. And then people going to reconnect. And then what happens when people reconnect? They fuck and then they have more kids. But right now they going through like a little process where they changing society around and stuff like that. And humans, we dumb. We don't know that's what's going on. We have no clue that in the background, just like how your phone got apps that's running in the background, that's one of the apps they got running in the background of the Matrix. Or you think you see them like taking the old world and changing it around. They be changing the McDonald's around, fixing the streets up, changing the way buildings look and shit. All that is like to make it look like progress is happening in society when it's not. All that is just preparing for the new people to arrive later on in the future. So then it'll cater to them, but not with them in a way where it advances them, like it contains their energy and stuff. So it can have control over their ass. That's what I get from the whole Tartaria thing. Like, those people was more advanced in Tartaria, so they had to have more advanced buildings. The new people on the way, which was our ancestors and us, we was more advanced, so they had to make our infrastructure more advanced at basically containing our energy so it can suck up the Loosh. Even though back then the comparison people making towards that Tartaria infrastructure versus this one is like back then it was more loose, and since it was more loose and less restrictive, it was more healing. But those people was already at a level, so a lot of these things that we ponder and think of now was invalid then because they was living in a more harmonious atmosphere. But to get the best yields of Loosh out of the human populace, you cannot have a harmonious atmosphere, because then people don't give off Loosh. They become docile or happy, if that's what you want to call it. And the entities that are here to mine all of that energy, they can't get it the way they want to. Because, Loosh, not only is it an energy, but it's also a currency. It's a movie out there called I Come in Peace, but it also got another name called Dark Angel. It's when this dope fiend looking alien come here with white hair, and then he got I would say like a good guy, meaning black, chasing him. And what he do is he find people with good loosh, and he pop their ass in the head with a straw, and then suck it out. And he filled this like container up with it. So I guess it's like the early precursor to like adrenochrome and shit like that. So anyway, anybody who ever interested in seeing that movie, go check it out. It's called Dark Angel or I Come in Peace. Sometimes that whole long ass name is connected in one, but either way it go, like, not only was that a drug he was collecting, it was also a currency, like from whatever fucking planet he from and shit, and they trade that shit. Have you ever like worked in a factory before? Probably not. Okay, anybody who has. Just like when we talked about like how all these cities can like have chicken wings and stuff, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of chicken wings. And you got all these cities, counties, and all this shit across the whole world. They gotta be like 3D printing the meat, right? Right. So when we be making all these things in these factories, and you got all these factories across the world, and we don't have a lot of storage space to put things, and it's not going into all these Walmarts and Targets. So where is it going? That's amazing, right? I always started to realize that a lot of shit was going off planet. Yes, sir. Like a lot of these factories mass produce a lot of shit that we don't even consume. All of it. Because, you know, most factories that make anything, they mass produce shit, is making it 24 hours a day, all day long. Just making it. Yes, we consume a lot of stuff. But, like, we're not consuming chairs and fucking hood covers on trucks and, you know, just all kinds of little shit like that. Food, maybe. Maybe with the food, possibly. But any type of hard, tangible thing that, like, doesn't get consumed as food, all that shit go off planet, man. So that's why they need to mass produce the shit. Because there's other realities out there that trade with us, that mirror this reality as well. But you got like other beings, you know, that flying like a UFO format. There are the go-betweens that do that shit. So just like how you see like the train going up and down a motherfucking you know, the country and road and shit, trading shit and taking shit from this location to that location. Or you see people like on the highway with the semi trucks doing the same thing. All the UFOs that you see ain't just, you know, some weird alien bullshit. They like come to collect those resources, like from the warehouses or whatever. And then they take them and trade them off world as currency or whatever they need to trade and shit. How they be showing you all them little like civilizations and shit on other planets and shit, even if it's like fake as hell and it's AI. A lot of us who astral travel know these places is out there. So they have to be able to trade that shit because they have to give us a job. We have to work in these places and drain our energy and shit all day doing mindless, remedial, unuseful work. Because we supposed to live in societies where we work together with each other in harmony, not just go to some place and you have to make money and you're just making shit that you ain't even gonna need. Yo, like in a real effective society and shit, like everything that you make it as you need it, not just in access and shit like that. Like, I'm simple as hell. Like, I don't need all of this bullshit. Like, I can live literally like in an apartment with just a couch and just basic little things. I don't need like the big king size bed and all the accessories that come with it. Like, when you think about it, like, everybody who got all that shit is for other people, right? And that's designed inside of them so they can have company and go over their house, and those people will receive company. And the whole purpose of the company is so you can interact with another human and shit. Interacting with another human, that creates Loosh. Because at some point y'all gonna have a agreement or a disagreement. Y'all energy gonna bump into each other, and that's the whole point. But over in China and shit, they obviously got those people enslaved real tough, so they can live in like little areas and stuff. But I ain't gonna stunt you. I've seen some of they little small cars and apartments and stuff. They not built in a harmonious way where it wouldn't irritate you. I couldn't live over there, that shit. Like, I could live in a small space, but it gotta be harmonious. Like, that type of shit over there, they literally treat them people like batteries inside of cells. And as soon as they go in a small car and a small apartment, they like energy vessels inside of a cell. And just by living, they getting they loose sucked. That's crazy, ain't it? Like, I just couldn't do that. Like, the way it's designed, man, it feel like you in a jail cell for real. But like a regular apartment, like in the U.S. or something, if you had a garden apartment or a studio, that's what they call it, that's the amount of space you need. And then you can make it like effective to where you place everything in a strategic way where it's harmonious and shit. Then you can live in that small space. But only people that really feel like this is people like see this reality for what it is and realize like everything here is a loose grab. So when you do go and you a male and you're able to get the opposite sex, or same with a female, well, not the same with a female, but mostly for men, the only reason why you can even get that woman is because a part of you is asleep. So, or you just an NPC or organic part of you gonna get a woman, period. I know this is gonna offend some people, but it's just the real life shit. Like, the Matrix already knows you're gonna trip up and do something stupid with that woman. Like, she gonna be an NPC or organic portal. You're gonna fall in love. You're gonna be in lust with her, so she is gonna like use her to pull you into situations you would never allow yourself to be in because of the lust. Or if you smart and you see those two things going on, then it's gonna make the woman play the long game on you. She's gonna do all this loyal stuff and just be like an amazing attachment to your life. But she's gonna have like stuff that's hidden, like little background apps running inside of her health, whether it be mental or physical. And you have her having unprotected sex with her and shit. And now you getting astrally all these astral attachments, spiritual attachments, silver cords, parasites, physical and astral. And next thing you know, over time, you breaking down on the inside. That's why I like it's a known fact, you know, women outlive the men because usually they're the carriers of that negative energy, just like how they made the planet be negative by putting the matrix over top of it, even though it's a true living being. Same thing with the female specimen, whether it's an animal or us. And we on animal level, even though we don't think we are, just because they say we ain't. But just like I said, man, you get locked out your motherfucking place or your car, you turn into an animal. They cut your money off, you turn into an animal. See what I'm saying? So yeah, Everything a loose grab, baby.